I gotta squeeze. These lemons got me on my knees. They biting, they some fleas. I'm snapping, I ain't saying cheese. Shorty get inspired. How about that? How about that? This time, shorty get inspired. How about that? How about that? This time.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Game 1 of the World Series. I'm James Kemp, joined as always by actually no one, it's just me. But it's a very exciting moment here for BBSN Productions. I will be calling today's game between the Red Stallions and the Blue Pelicans. It's been a long road to get here. We've been running this sim tournament all summer and even some of the spring, and now we are finally going to get into the final series of the tournament. The Red Stallions coming to their second World Series berth. Meanwhile, the Joelle's Blue Pelicans also making their second appearance, this time second consecutively. So we've had some continued success in this tournament, and we will get going right after this. Here we see Julio Arias taking the mound. Decently hard throwing lefty. And here we go. There's the tail of the tape. Julio Urias, 2 starts this postseason, although without a win, hasn't been overly effective at 5.79 ERA. However, nothing matters except for right now, as Trey Turner steps in for the first pitch of the World Series. And that is a fastball for a strike to kick off this game. Urias, as we said, hasn't been overly effective. However, the Blue Pelicans have not lost a game in the postseason here. They actually haven't lost a game all year. Sweeping every series that they have come across. We'll see if that remains consistent. However, the Red Stallions have only lost 1 game all summer. The Red Stallions have done most of their damage with their bats. They have by far the most home runs in the league this postseason. However, as we just saw, as Trey Turner strikes out for his first at-bat, Joelle's squad has been known for winning low-scoring games. They've already had 2 games go into extra innings, obviously won both. The defense, definitely the strongest point here, as Ronald Acuna steps in for his second pitch of this at-bat. Acuna batting a cool .375 this postseason, and that one ripped down the line. If he keeps that safe, or keeps that fair, we might have seen a hot start here offensively for the Reds. Just going to foul that one back. But Ronald Acuna, definitely in real baseball, a NL MVP candidate, looks no different in the sim game. He has been raking. And we didn't get to talk much about Trey Turner in his first at-bat. He's been a little disappointing, as there goes Ronald Acuna striking out. That's 2 strikeouts in a row for Julio Urias to start the game, as in steps Starling Marte. Marte, batting .344, has really kind of been hitting above his weight. He didn't come into this tournament with much expectation that he would even be guaranteed to be in the starting lineup every day, but he has been a huge producer here, batting 3rd, and especially against lefties, has mashed. Now, there aren't a ton of lefty starting pitchers in this tournament, but with Julio Urias being probably the highest profile one, Marte is going to be expected to do a lot of damage today, as he always is against lefties. 2-1 count here. That is ripped down the line as well. Got good contact, but it's gonna go foul. 2-2 count. Reds making good contact early against Urias, just haven't put anything in play. As we got a full count here for Urias and Marte. The pitch, that's going to be a full count walk. Marte is on base. And up next is going to be the catcher, today playing DH, JT Realmuto. Realmuto, one of the better catchers in the game today. As we got a steal attempt, Marte is going to be out at second. Not exactly something I would have suggested, but that is how the first half of the first inning is gonna go. There we get a replay of the throw down there, and I'm not totally sure he was actually out, but we'll assume the umpires are not stupid. And stepping onto the bump for the Reds, Sandy Alcantara. He's had 2 starts this postseason where he has been sterling. A 3.29 ERA, averaging a 1.02 whip during that time. As in steps O'Neal Cruz, one of the most electric young players in baseball, who's going to take a 97-mile-an-hour fastball down the middle. O'Neal Cruz, starting with a 261 average here, is going to kind of be indicative of a lot of this Blue Pelicans offense. Not a lot of really impressive batting averages on the team, but they've been able to do just enough in clutch situations to, as we've said, win every game. And it's going to be an early 3-1 count here. Sure, Sandy doesn't want to lose the first guy in the game, especially an athletic guy like Cruz. There's a sinker high in the zone that's going to be looked at for a strike. Full count. And that is an interesting way to start the game. O'Neal Cruz looks at a changeup for the strikeout. Sandy's good. I don't know if he's that good, but here we go. Cedric Mullins takes a slider up in the zone. Cedric Mullins, I believe, has the highest batting average on the Blue Pelicans at 308. As he takes a questionable ball call down the zone. But Mullins, part of that original Red Stallions World Series run back in 2020, he, I'm sure, is very excited to make it back to the October Classic. 1-2 count here to Mullins. Alcantara gets him to chase out of the zone. Mullins goes down swinging. Got kind of a mirrored thing here. Well, I guess I was wrong about those batting averages. Jose Ramirez is batting .444. 3 home runs so far. I don't know how I forgot about Ramirez's .444 batting average, but he is doing damage. The pitch. That's going to be a taken sinker down to the zone, already down 0-2. Just outside there to Ramirez. Another great young player playing for the Cleveland Guardians right now as he fouls off a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. One thing I would say about Jose Ramirez, he's shorter than he looks on TV. And he's not very tall to begin with, but his frame does a lot of the work there as he fouls one down the first base side. 1-2 count. That's a ball outside. 2-2. Sandy kicks, steals, taken high from 0-2 to 3-2. Payoff pitch. That's going to be fouled off as well. And 3 strikeouts to start the game for both sides. Pitchers feeling themselves early. Sandy Alcantara getting it done as we go to the top of the second. And here we go, stepping in once again, it's JT Realmuto. Hitting .259. He is in this spot today because of his ability to hit lefties for power. And hit lefties for power he does. As he rips that up the middle for the first base hit of the ball game, JT Realmuto is on base to start. There are several guys in this Reds lineup today who are hitting higher than they normally would because of their ability to hit lefties, or are in the lineup at all today because of that. As we see Luis Robert step in, only hitting .200, not really an impressive batting average, but once again, he mashes lefties, so here he is. Urias with the 0-1 count. Kicks and deals, and Robert is going to foul one off down the right field side. Continues getting that hard contact that the Reds have had against Urias early, as he doesn't quite make his solid contact there. Still 0-2. The pitch. And we'll see. He's going to be called out on appeal. Luis Robert goes down swinging for the 3rd strikeout of the game. As we see the StatCast here, Urias peppering the zone with fastballs. Just gets Robert to chase on a errant check swing there, as we see Francisco Lindor step in. And you hate to see that. That's going to be the 2nd runner caught stealing for the Reds. I'm not sure I get that one. Realmuto, not the fastest guy in the world, but we've also seen this manager, David Bell, send guys even as slow as Joey Votto to try and steal bases. I don't understand it. We've just cost two free outs, but you're the highest scoring team in the league, so I guess you got something figured out. Mistakes on the base paths will kill you, but we got Frankie Lindor here. 0-1 count. The pitch. And that's going to be a slurve. That misses down and in. Lindor gets a Texas leaguer to fall out there, and man, you Would have really liked to have Real Muto on base there. But good piece of hitting for Frankie Lindor. Hasn't had a lot of things to go his way here, so he will definitely take this one. And here we go, Travis d'Arnaud. One of those guys who I alluded to earlier only plays in this roster against lefties. He's hitting .250 against them in that 7 slot. Not a lot of power for him yet. He is a catcher by trade, and he is sliding into the catcher's position today. The pitch, outside with the fastball. Hopefully someone's talking to Francisco Lindor right now, telling him to stay on the bases as d'Arnaud rips one into left center. That's going to be at least 2. Run could score. It does. Travis d'Arnaud brings in Frankie Lindor in the 2nd inning. Great hit there. Gets to the wall, just barrels it up. Exactly what you need out of your guy there. As we bring in Adolis Garcia. 143 hitter. Ooh. Takes a check swing at a slurve that stays outside there. Garcia hasn't done a ton in the postseason here. Another one of those guys who's really in the roster because he can hit lefties right now. Manager considered benching him today, but figured if he's going to get a shot, should be against Urias. 1-1 pitch, low. It's the circle change there. Might be trying to set up a fastball high. And it did look like a fastball high, as it's going to get him out on a ground out to 3rd. Travis d'Arnaud, though, doing damage, helping his team out. Reds lead 1-0. And here we go to start the bottom of the 2nd inning. Stepping in is Brandon Lau. Brandon Lau, the by far biggest power threat on this roster, hitting cleanup here with 3 home runs on the season. I do believe he leads the league in home runs right now. The Sim League, that is. It's some high heat there that he is a bit late on. 1-1 count here. Sandy Alcantara in real life this year hasn't quite been as effective as a lot of people expected him to, but he is fresh off of a complete game 1 hitter. So he is starting to return to the Sandy we know. As there's a ball low, 2-2 count. They're going to say that he held back, I guess. Full count there. The pitch. And he's going to swing and miss at the fastball. Brandon Lau put down on strikes. And in steps Alejandro Kirk. The pitch. Ooh. A 12-seam curveball there. Alejandro Kirk hitting a very nice 370 this year. Not an everyday hitter in this roster. Today up to 5th, as he's going to foul one off there. Kirk, another one of those shorter guys on this roster, but has a little bit of pop if he can get a hold of it. 1-2 count. The pitch. It's gonna be inside. 2-2 here. It's gonna foul one back. They're going to say he went. Alejandro Kirk goes down, technically swinging, as that is the second out of the inning here. In steps Matt Olson. Guy hitting 172 definitely is better than his average suggests. He already has a home run this postseason and typically mashes righties. Has a good chance to do some damage here against a very solid pitcher in Sandy Alcantara. And his team could really use a little bit of power here. It is still really early going, so they're not going to feel too badly about that 1-0 deficit, but the pitch here, swing and a miss. But knowing how strong an offense this Reds team has, I'm sure that they don't want to let them get too far away without getting some base runners at least. Olsen, full count, as he's going to strike out looking at a circle change. Down go the Pelicans in order. 1-0 still as we go to the third. And in steps Andres Gimenez, hitting .222. Another guy who hasn't quite hit the way he was expected to, but there is a fly ball out to center, one pitch out. And that might be a good indicator as to why he's hitting in the 9th spot. As the lineup turns over and Trey Turner gets his second at-bat of the day. Trey Turner, one of the heroes of the Wild Baseball Stallions for several years now, as he takes a fastball. He's been moved down the lineup against righties. Hasn't quite seemed to figure that out this postseason, but here hitting leadoff against lefties. The pitch, taking another one out there. 1-1. He's gonna, rip one foul. You got to be thankful that they've got those nets out there. Someone could have taken one off the lips. 1-2 pitch. Fouled the other way. Trey Turner, a guy known for his speed, defensive adeptitude? I don't know. And skill with the bat. Here he is, staying alive. Also probably one of the more disciplined hitters in baseball right now. They're just going to foul off another. I think that's, what, 4 foul balls here? Working that pitch count. They're going to say that hit him. Trey Turner fouls off 4 balls there and then gets himself hit by a pitch. And they have a very dangerous runner on first as in steps Ronald Acuna. Reds today, even though it's early, have already squandered some good opportunities with runners on base. Travis d'Arnaud notwithstanding. But the guy this fast though, and with as aggressive as David Bell has been sending guys, you kind of got to think that Turner might be moving, if not immediately, then at some point trying to avoid the double play ball. As Acuna fouls it off for the first strike of the at-bat, 2-1 count here. Acuna struck out in his first at-bat. As there goes Urias, looking back Trey Turner. And there he goes again. Of course, in real baseball, you can't do that anymore. But this game was made before they could put that in. The pitch. Acuna takes a strike inside, 2-2. Look at those guys in the background just whipping that rally towel around. The home fans love it, as Ronald Acuna is going to hit into the double play. That's what we were afraid of. But Ramon Urias, aside for one mistake in the second, looking pretty good early. Reds still lead, 1-0. And here we go, Lars Nootbaar starting things off for the Blue Pelicans. Nootbaar, of course, his actual name, not an advertising gimmick. I'm sure Nootbaar is some kind of granola bar or candy bar somewhere, but today he's a baseball player. As he takes a ball to go 1-2. 2-2. Gotta say, this game is moving much faster now that I'm actually calling the game and not just watching it. There's 3 balls in a row to go 3-2. He fouls off another. Folks, question for you all at home. If you were to have a Nootbaar, as Nootbaar does strike out, what kind of Noot would you like in your bar? I personally do like Nootbaars with peanuts. Peanuts, I should say. And here we go, Tommy Edman. The first pitch of that at bat is taken for a strike. Tommy Edman hitting 231. Has done a little damage. He's had a home run and 3 RBIs during this postseason run. There's a close one on the inside. It's going to be called for a strike. 0-2 to Edman quickly. He's going to foul off a sinker. They're going to say, yep, he held up. 1-2. But couldn't that time, as Tommy Edman goes down for the second out of the inning. We're going to look at the StatCast here. Here's the strikeout pitch. It's a sinker with a 7-inch break there. And for a lot of guys, it's really hard to see the difference between a sinker and a fastball, but it can make a lot of difference, as here comes Brandon Belt in the 9-hole. Belt hitting a dismal 182, but he is in here for his potential. He does have a strong bat. He can push it out of the park, as he rips one down the line there. It's a pretty shallow 328 in right field here at the Rogers Center, as Brandon Belt fouls off another. He's definitely due to get a hold of something here. He's going to foul off another. Looking like he's ahead of things here early. They're going to try and push him inside, as there's a slider high taken for a ball. 2-2 count. Belt fouls off another. Brandon Belt, of course, known as a San Francisco Giant, as he gets a hold of one there. Could be difficult to track down, but that's Starling Marte making the play. We go to the 4th. And here we go to start the 4th inning. Starling Marte. He was walked in his first at-bat today, and then was thrown out stealing. It's going to start off his second at-bat of the game, watching a ball. It's a nice pitch there by Urias, getting that low circle change to just fall in there. He's definitely trying to work a lot of breaking pitches here against Marte. Might be worried about that handedness matchup for fastballs, as that slurve isn't quite close. Pitch. And that is going to be a ground out to first. Down goes Marte. Which is going to bring up JT Realmuto. I misspoke earlier. He is not DHing today. He is playing first base. Normally Joey Votto is the first baseman for this team. But Jovo does not get reps against lefties. It's a good take by Realmuto to start here. There's a ball low. Seems like Urias hasn't been able to throw that fastball with a whole lot of effectiveness yet. He's been relying really on that circle change to do a lot of his damage. Just hasn't quite had command over it, as we got a 3-0 count here. But he's still done a very decent job keeping his pitch count down. Only at 52 here. As there's that fastball right down the middle. Realmuto with the take sign on. And JT Realmuto is on base for the second time today, taking a walk. And here comes Luis Robert. The big man for the White Sox going to try and do some damage here. Hopefully Realmuto can be a little smarter on the bases than he was last time. And they're already looking down there to see if they can get him to fall into a mistake again. Pitch from Urias. Nowhere close. Slurve falls inside. Ooh, that was a close pickoff move there. Once again, in the real game, you can't try to pick off twice anymore, but they're already going to try and put that pressure on JT. There's a circle change taken for a strike. There we get a look at David Bell. Looks as much like an animatronic in a video game as he does in real life. If he didn't get thrown out of games so much, I wouldn't really be sure he's a real person. But there's Robert ripping one down the line and right. That's going to get to the wall. That's going to be at least 2 for Robert. Can it bring in another? He's going to be safe. JT Realmuto scores from first base as the Red Stallions take a 2-0 lead. Get another look here at that shot from Robert. Not trying to do too much, just goes opposite field with it. And Realmuto doing a great job getting a hand in there, staying out of tagging distance. And we're going to have Frankie Lindor on here with a runner in scoring position for him. There's a ball low to start it. Lindor already with a hit today. He does most of his damage against actual lefties. He's been moved to the bottom of the lineup against righties, so he's definitely going to want to take advantage of any situations he gets here, as that slurve misses high, doesn't quite come down enough. Frankie Lindor fouls off another 2-1. Well, fouls off his first one in that bat. Two count. That's gonna go. Francisco Lindor. Oppo Taco. Francisco, home run. The Red Stallions take a 4-0 lead as Francisco Lindor circles the bases. This is the exact kind of start that David Bell's squad wanted to have. Get to Julio Urias quickly, force them into going to their bullpen before they want to. And Lindor there showcasing his opposite field power. Don't see a lot of guys go to that. But it is a pretty short porch out there and right. That would have been out on most fields as in steps Travis d'Arnaud. Already 1 for 1 today. They're going to say he did not go on that pitch. Travis d'Arnaud, hero of the second inning. Doesn't have anybody on base that he can help out right now, but that doesn't mean he can't do some damage on his own. Ooh, pretty gross swing and a miss there. Didn't quite pick up on the change. There he's going to hit a foul ball down the line and left. Just barely misses potential two-bagger. And there he is going to hit one out to right field. That is going to be caught by everyone's favorite Newt Bar. Here we go, 2 outs. Adolis Garcia steps into the box. Only hitting 125 now. He's going to take that fastball inside. I got a feeling that this Red squad is going to be told to take a few pitches. He hasn't quite found the zone with effectiveness yet. He's hit a guy, he's walked a guy, and he's made mistakes in the middle of the zone that the Reds have been able to capitalize on. And not being able to hit with that fastball has definitely hurt him today. The pitch here. Garcia, swing and a miss at the changeup. 2-2. Just gonna watch that ball outside as we got a full count. Andres Jimenez on deck. He's gonna break his bat. That ball is gonna fall, picked up by Urias, and out. But Francisco Lindor already doing his damage here today. Opposite field home run. Beautiful piece of hitting there as the Reds go up 4-0. As in steps O'Neal Cruz for his second at-bat of the day. Cruz struck out in the first. Alcantara's got it working here early through the first 3 innings. Nary a mistake. 2-0. Well, now we got an early 3-0 count to O'Neal Cruz. This home crowd would love to have a base runner. Not going to get one there. 3-1 just barely hits the zone. O'Neal Cruz swinging at another in just about the same position. And all of a sudden we're full. That's going to be on the ground to third base. Lindor to Real Muto. Ground out. And coming in next, we got Cedric Mullins. Another guy with a good amount of speed. Could do a lot to help out his team here by getting on base. Especially with Jose Ramirez sitting behind him. And Alcantara wasting no time getting ahead in the count here, 0-2. Ooh, he's gonna chase it out of the zone. They're gonna say he went. Cedric Mullins strikes out. That's already the 9th strikeout of the day for Alcantara, as here comes Jose Ramirez. I don't know if I agree with that call there. That looked like a strike to me, but they're going to call it a ball. And we're going to go to 1-1. That's a ball low, 2-1. Fouls it off there, 2-2. Full count. Ramirez rips one into right field, and there goes the perfect game and the no-hitter. Took it till the 4th inning, but the Blue Pelicans finally have a base runner. We'll see now if they'll be able to do anything with it, as we got Brandon Lau, the heavy hitting Brandon Lau, sees ball low. This home crowd here at the Rogers Center, I'm sure, would love to see some offense before the Reds get too far ahead. It is game 1 of the World Series, but you want to win them at home when you're supposed to win them. And there is a called strike, 3-1 count to Brandon Lau. And now the Blue Jays have 2 runners on. A little 2-out rally going here on, potentially. Alejandro Kirk coming up to the mariachi music. We'll see what he can do with it. The pitch. That's a ball taken inside. Not sure what he was thinking swinging at that one. Just as likely to hit him as he was to hit that ball. One-two count to Kirk. And he's going to go golfing. This is going to be caught in right field as the Blue Pelicans squander a good opportunity there as we go to the 5th. Reds lead 4-0. Thanks for joining us here. We start the top of the 5th with Andres Gimenez, 9-hole hitter for the Redlegs. Julio Urias still on the bump. Only 73 pitches, no reason he shouldn't be. Pitch to start the inning is slapped to left. Nearly on the warning track there. That is caught. First pitch. You can already see double barrel relievers warming up for Toronto. I would guess that the leash for your eyes probably isn't going to be a whole lot longer. As in steps Trey Turner. There goes Trey Turner fouling one off. Sounds like someone in the stands there made a nice catch. There he goes, slaps it the other way. Trey Turner, technically 0 for 1 today, although he has been on base once. That was a flailing swing and a miss. Turner looked like he was guessing there. As in steps Ronald Acuna Jr. The ever dangerous Ronald Acuna Jr., I should say. It's going to be a ball low to start. There he goes, finally gets a good placement on that four-seamer. 1-1 count. Slightly generous with the strike call there. Ronald Acuna, another guy who's played for a while for this Reds team. Spent multiple years with them. Done a lot of damage for him, but not this time. Urias has a great comeback inning there in the 5th against some of the tougher hitters in this Reds lineup. Score stays 4-0. In steps Matt Olson. They were able to get to Alcantara a little bit in the last inning. Still no runs, though. This would be a great time for Matt Olson to start doing something as we take a look at the defensive infield there. Big swing and a miss at the changeup. 0-2 to Olson. The pitch. Strikeout. 10th of the game for Sandy. He's starting to get up there in pitch count, already in the 5th with 85, but he's been rolling. Nootbaar slaps one foul to left. 0-2 there. This Nootbaar seems to be a chunky one. And he's going to argue that call a little bit. Sir, this is a video game. As he's going to take the slider low. And they're going to say he went there as well. Lars Nootbaar looking completely fooled by everything Sandy Alcantara has thrown at him as Tommy Edman steps in. Ball low there. Circle change misses low as well. No. 3-0 count. These have all been change-ups and off speed. We'll see if we see a fastball here. Sinker close enough. And that's going to be a walk. With Alcantara already getting up there in pitches, you definitely don't want to mess with bringing the top of the order back again. So Brandon Belt's a guy that he has to get here. Although, with how effective he's been, you would think that maybe they'd let Alcantara go a little bit deeper into this game. It is the World Series. Might let him run the tank out. But also, with it being game one, if you have a comfortable lead, you might suggest letting your ace have a little bit of time to recover in case you need him not just once more in the series, but maybe even twice. As that one's going to be slapped to left. It's got a chance, but no! Adolis, not at Garcia. Starling Marte makes a great catch on the warning track. Nearly put the Jays on the board, but it remains a 4-0 ball game going into the 6th. And Julio Urias's day is done as in steps Jose Urquidy. He's pitched in 3 games so far. He does have a win already with a very, very nice .77 ERA. Urquidy has been a very effective middle reliever as he is going to get to pitch against Starling Marte. And it doesn't take long for him to make Urquidy feel welcome. Marte has hit righties and lefties both very well during this postseason, and they're wasting no time. Already making Jose pitch from the stretch. Here's Real Muto. It's going to take a close one there. Real Muto has been walked, has been thrown out stealing, and has a hit and a run. Slower slider there. I don't know about you, but that one looked pretty tasty. I do like a good White Castle slider every now and again. Today's game not brought to you by White Castle, as Jose throws one over, doesn't quite get there. But we all love a good White Castle slider, as there goes Marte stealing, and he is safe. Marte's had a pretty solid day today in the field. 2 really nice catches in left, and there he goes, helping his team out, stealing a base against the reliever. Look at that man with the dirty uniform. Mad respect, as the kids say sometimes. And that's a well-struck ball, but right at the center fielder. No action on the base paths. That's 1 out. Nice catch from Cedric Mullins there, as in steps the Reds center fielder, Luis Robert. He has a double, an RBI, and a run in today's game, going 1 for 2. Robert's hit today was a very well-struck ball down the right field line, as there you get a pickoff attempt to second. Despite struggling throughout most of this series, Robert would love to see a little bit of success here, despite that shallow outfield pop-out. And with 2 outs here, we're going to see the 6-hole hitter, Francisco Lindor. He has had a very nice game up to this point, 2 for 2 with a very important 2-run homer. Lindor is a switch hitter, not as effective from the left side though. he will switch over to that left side now, as already he's down 0-2. Now, switch hitters in today's ball game, you feel like they're a little more common right now than they have been. You see Adley Rutschman hitting switch in the home run derby, but that was a questionable ringing up of Francisco Lindor. But we'll go to the bottom of the 6th with the top of the Jays due up. And here we go, O'Neal Cruz. Hasn't done anything yet today with a strikeout and a ground out, but we'll see what he can do here. Sandy, the pitch. Swing and a miss. And there goes Sandy Alcantara hitting the century mark. No sign of slowing down yet. He's remained very effective as there he goes, gets another swing and a miss on the circle change. 1-2. Big swing and a miss again from O'Neal Cruz. Goes down swinging. Sandy's 12th strikeout of the game. And here we go, Cedric Mullins. Nothing but K's so far. I don't know about you guys watching at home, but every time I hear the name Cedric, I just think of our dearly departed Cedric Diggory. Gone too soon. 1-2 count. Chases a sinker very far outside. Not sure what he was thinking there. The pitch. And Mullins is going to help his team out a little bit. Avoids not only the hat trick, but also gets himself on base. And there is a dangerous base runner there for Alcantara to allow. I don't think that David Bell is going to consider taking Alcantara out here, but I would say that this is a pretty important at-bat as far as things are concerned for the rest of this game. Ramirez takes a strike. Both Ramirez's .448 batting average and 3 home runs, with a Sandy Alcantara who is starting to slip a little bit. This could be a point where the Jays should jump. There is a runner. I don't really know why he swung there. That wasn't a good pitch to hit. Cedric Mullins got a good jump. Should have been there easily. As there goes Jose Ramirez striking out. Just not approaching that at bat very well at all. But in steps Brandon Lau. Sandy Alcantara with pitch 1-1-1. It's a pitch out with nothing doing. And there goes Mullins again. That pitch is low. Darno can't hang on to it. Cedric Mullins is going to get there easily. Second time today the Jays have had a runner in scoring position, as there is a juicy high change that Lau looked at. 2-1. Pitch. Opposite field, foul ball. Deuces all around. 2-2-2. Rub your caps, do what you do. As there is a flare out to right center. It might fall. It does. That should score a run, and it does. And the Blue Pelicans are on the board. Not a flashy hit by Brandon Lau, but it does the job. There a slider that just hits the outside of the zone. He's able to get under it with really just enough power to get it over the infielders' heads. As in steps Alejandro Kirk. There he goes, taking a slider in a similar position as the one that Lau just hit to right center. Kirk hasn't done much today, but that does not mean that he can't step up now with a runner on first, and he's going to rip one down the right field line, foul. The home fans finally getting something to cheer about today. It'd be great for them if Alejandro Kirk could continue giving them something to cheer about. It's going to be 1-2 here. And you got to wonder if Sandy can't put down Kirk here. It may be curtains. 2-2 count. Another big at-bat here. Kirk hits it up the middle. Also can't be wrangled by any Reds defenders. There's going to be runners on first and second. Little two-out rally for the Jays here. And Sandy stays on the bump. 121 pitches in. Matt Olson fouls off a fastball up and in. Baseball is a stressful sport as a player to begin with. But in these high leverage situations, you definitely see him sweat a little bit more. 1-1 count here. Sandy Alcantara has pitched the most pitches in this inning than he has in any other one. Here you see two guys warming up here. Eric Lauer, the lefty, Graham Ashcraft, the righty. Probably just depends on who is up when they need to pull Sandy. Which one we'll see. Olsen goes golfing. Should have left that one alone. 1-2. Already on pitch 125. Fouls off a high one. That one hitting the 99-mile-an-hour mark. Ball outside. Deuces again. Full count. Newt Bar on deck. He walked him. The Blue Jays have the bases loaded, and manager David Bell is going to have seen enough. Sandy Alcantara had a great start to this game. Just had a few too many pitches. Made a couple mistakes, and that'll be his day. He is going to be on the hook for the three base runners here. But in steps Eric Lauer, the lefty. He's appeared in 3 games so far for the Reds here as a middle reliever. He's pitched 5.1 innings with a 1.69 ERA. Not bad at all. Doing better against lefties than he is anybody else. So he is going to see the Newt Bar in a very high leverage situation. There's a strike called a bit high. But with a name like Newt Bar, lousy swing and a miss from Lars there. It's 0-2 already. Lauer would love nothing more than to get out of this quickly. There's a ball hit down the first base side, fielded by Real Muto. And Eric Lauer is going to get him out of this situation. However, Brandon Lau does some work, helps his team out with the base hit up the middle, gets his team finally on the board. But still, 4-1 ball game. We've reached the later third of the game here with the 7th inning, as in steps Travis d'Arnaud. You gotta wonder if the momentum is firmly in the grasp of the Blue Pelicans, having had a big inning that could have been a lot bigger, or could get in a few hits out of the Reds here, flip it back the other way. They do enjoy 4-1 lead, so I don't think they're that concerned right now, as there is a deep hit to left. That one is gonna go! Travis d'Arnaud! See ya later! His first home run of the tournament. And that answers the question right there. 5-1 game. That one not necessarily a moonshot, but hit 348 feet out of here. And some lucky fan did not get to take a look at that ball because it landed in the bullpen. Adolis Garcia, 0 for 2 today, and is just hitting a absolutely dismal 111 this postseason. You gotta wonder if management is going to take a look at his stat line and wonder if he'll be getting another look for game 2. But I think he's just going to be batting for self-preservation here. So he rips one into center. That is caught by Cedric Mullins. And in steps Andres Gimenez. That was a close one up and in. As he is going to ground out to second base. 2 outs. And the lineup flips over. Trey Turner stepping in. Didn't really get an opportunity to maximize on those lefties. And right-handed pitching has been his bane. Fastball up. Trey Turner in real life came up with the Washington Nationals today, plays for the Dodgers. I'm going to pretend I didn't see that. 1-2. And there he goes, rips one into right. That's going to be a base hit for Trey Turner. His second time being on base today. Dangerous, dangerous runner. With 2 outs, you're not exactly worried about the double play ball because that is literally impossible. But with Ronald Acuna Jr. stepping in, kid's got some power. That one going foul. Acuna hasn't done anything today. That doesn't mean that he can't get it going quickly. That, I think, is a pitch he might want back. 0-2 pitch. Horrible, horrible at-bat for Ronald Acuna Jr. But Travis d'Arnaud, early in the inning, gets a hold of one, slings it to left. Gives the Reds a little bit of insurance. 5-1 going into the bottom half of the 7th inning. Enjoy your stretch, folks. Here comes Tommy Edman. Another switch hitter in the lineup here. Hoping to continue what the Bluebirds did last inning, but he is not going to ground out to Trey Turner there. Already one out in the inning. Don't even get to complete my inning intro before Brandon Belt comes up. Fastball low and away to Brandon Belt. And he's gonna swing it one up and in. Can't get a hold of it. Fouls off a curveball. A lady with a hot dog, or is that a pretzel, losing her mind behind the backstop. She looks very excited. That slider is going to miss down and away. Slider going to miss. About chest high and away. And there go those blue rally towels. Look at those guys just slinging them. Foul ball. Seems to be an awful lot of red behind the backstop today. I do understand that most of that is likely Blue Jays red, as they do have it as a secondary color. And there's a strikeout from Brandon Belt. 2 outs. And in steps O'Neal Cruz. The lefty-lefty matchup here. He's going to watch one low. O'Neal Cruz, in real life, a Pirate. Actually, in real life, is on the 60-day injured list. Has been since the very start of the season. Very talented kid, hasn't gotten to do anything this year. 2-2 count. I'm sure getting to the BBFL World Series here in this Sim Series is a big accomplishment for him, considering everything he's going through in the real world today. There's a fastball that misses up and in, and we are full. Eric Lauer in real world is starting pitcher, serving as a middle reliever today, and there is a hard struck fly ball out to center field. Mullins is under it, and that will end the 7th inning. 2 innings to go. Reds lead 5-1. And stepping in at the top of the 8th, Starling Marte. He's had a pretty solid day today, 1 for 2 so far. And Urquidy misses high. There's a line drive into left. The Reds are going to start out with a runner on first. And folks, this is kind of what you probably had to worry about. This was an offensive juggernaut event against a defensive juggernaut. Which one is going to work out first? And here we've seen the Reds have really dominated this from the word go. They've scored in the first, they scored in the second, and even with some base running mistakes, they've still been able to really control this with the bats. There's another hard struck ball to center. Reds now have runners on first and second. With 2 quick hits. Wonder if it may be time for a new arm. It is not, as in steps Luis Robert. Luis Robert already with a clutch at bat today to score a run. Gotta wonder if he is thinking about doing some more damage. As there goes the rally towels behind the plate. And that is the exact opposite of what Robert would have wanted to see. He grounds into a double play. However, the Reds now have a runner at third. Jose Urquidy got to be breathing a little bit easier now. However, with Francisco Lindor already with a bomb today, hitting 2 for 3, I'm not sure he's breathing that easily. The pitch. Ball. 2-0 to Lindor. .3-0 to Lindor. And with what d'Arnaud has already done to him, you got to think that he wants to get Lindor now. Does not want to see that guy again. That's a somewhat questionable strike call there, but it's full to Lindor. And the Reds have runners at the corners. And still no move from the Blue Jays manager. As in steps Travis d'Arnaud, having an excellent day with the bat. He's going to swing at that first one, going to foul it off of the catcher's nuts. 0-1. Well, this at bat isn't quite going how I think d'Arnaud pictured it. Probably swung at the wrong pitch and took the wrong pitch. Well, here we go. 0-2. Runners at the corners. d'Arnaud, right side of the infield, caught by the second baseman, and the Jays are going to get out of this with no runs scored there. However, as we go to the bottom of the 8th, they've got some work to do still. Red Stallions lead 5-1. Some would call this nut-cutting time. Cedric Mullins steps in against Eric Lauer. Nowhere close on that one. Lauer hits him with the cutter. 0-1. Fastball. 0-2. Tries to paint the corner, can't quite get there. 1-2. And Cedric Mullins is going to strike out. Definitely seen a lot of those today from the boys in blue. Jose Ramirez hitting from the right side this time. Gonna look at a fastball up.
That's inside. Ball 2.
A lot of movement on that curve. Can't find the zone though. The pitch. Pops it up. It's going to be easily fielded by JT Realmuto, and there are 2 outs in the inning. Brandon Lau with the team's only RBI today. I'm sure he'd like to get another RBI here, but if the Bluebirds are going to make a run at this, they have to get something going now. As there is a hard struck ball into left. And there we go. Brandon Lau using his bat, going oppo, helping his team out. Next up, Alejandro Kirk. Alejandro Kirk is 1 for 3 today. Now, while a run one bomb wouldn't necessarily kill the Reds here, it would make it a bit closer. A 2-run bomb makes it a 5-3 ball game going to the 9th, and that, while not necessarily scary, does make the other team sweat a little bit more, especially now that Eric Lauer is losing him a little bit. 3-0. Might be time to look down to that bullpen. He's going to find that strike, though. That was probably take all the way from Kirk. That's a well-struck ball, but it is foul. Full count. Big at-bat for the home team. Flicks it foul. Come on, home fans. Where are those rally towels? Put those rally towels away. Alejandro Kirk goes down swinging. As we go to the 9th inning, the Redlegs lead at 5-1. It's been a very one-sided game, but we are nearly at the end of it. Adolis Garcia steps in for the Reds half of the 9th. Jose Urquidy is going to stay in the game here for the 9th. He does have his background as a starting pitcher, so he does have more than a fair amount of stamina. And I'm sure that they are in no rush to burn one of their more high-profile relievers, as Adolis Garcia is going to rip one down the left field line, and he is going to stay at first. Good piece of hitting by him as we go to the 9-hole hitter, Andres Gimenez. Gimenez has had an up and down postseason. Was pretty highly touted to start things off. Going into that divisional series, he was actually hitting leadoff. Now, down in the 9-hole, hasn't been all that effective, but he is going to hit one to the first baseman, going to get tagged, avoids a double play, advances his runner, but that is how we get the first out of the top of the 9th. And here comes Trey Turner with the runner in scoring position. Throws back to second. Garcia is safe. Trey Turner again trying to bunt for a hit. Slightly better than the first time, but still nothing. The pitch. Trey Turner watches a strike go by. Here we go, 0-2 pitch. Trey Turner slaps it to Jose Ramirez at third, throws it over to Matt Olson, and down goes TT. However, here we go, Ronald Acuna Jr. stepping into the box now. I'm sure he'd love to get his team a little bit of insurance here, especially with himself having a 0-for-4 day. The unquestioned leader of this team, I think you could say. Definitely would like to see a little bit of offensive leadership. He is batting in the DH position today, so can't help his team in the field. And there's a rip foul. Ball outside, pushes it full. Here we go, payoff pitch. Acuna fouls it off. Again, Acuna fouls it off. The home fans have the rally towels going. There's a little high heat. And what does he do? He fouls it off. Great battle here between Acuna and Urquidy. Late on the swing there, but what's he do? Fouls it off. Holds it back. And Ronald Acuna is going to win this time as he takes a walk. Runners on first and second at the top of the ninth with 2 outs as in steps Starling Marte, the 3-hole hitter for the Reds today. He's had a very solid day, and you got to think if he can get one into a gap, that would help his closer breathe a lot easier. Also, his closer probably wouldn't even be put in. Probably wouldn't see Kenley Jansen. As there it is. There is a ball into the right center gap. That's going to score 1, possibly 2. And there it is. A stand-up double from Starling Marte. Blows this thing wide open. It is 7-1. It's a very well-struck ball. It even fades off a little bit to end up being the right fielder's ball there, as that will be the end of the day for Jose Urquidy. And in steps Alexis Diaz. Alexis Diaz was an all-star this year for the Cincinnati Reds. Today, making his 5th appearance for the Jays. He's been a very reliable pitcher. In this team, he's more of a setup man, but he will be trying to close out this game without any more damage. JT Realmuto has to be extremely happy with his World Series debut here. That's a call the man Picasso. He's painting corners. Very nice pitch. And Realmuto chases the slider out of the zone. And we go to the bottom of the ninth. We're going to see the Newt bar one more time. But first, it's Matt Olson. The Jays trail 7-1. And it turns out I was wrong. We will see the closer today. Please welcome to the bump, Kenley Jansen, one of the most accomplished closers in baseball today. He will be looking to close out Game 1 of the World Series. Matt Olson steps in 0 for 2. He has been walked today. That one's close there. Called a strike. For this Redlegs team, even though they made and won the World Series a few years ago, I'm sure that after completely missing the postseason last year, they have to be extremely excited about having this opportunity right now. Here we go, 1-2 pitch. Fouled off. That first World Series we had in this Sim League, of course, between the Red Stallions and the Poke Mariners. Ended up going 6 games. But I think that year, the series that we remember far more was the NLCS reverse sweep, where the Red Stallions ended up coming back from down 3-0 to the Cub Whackers. As that one's going to be fouled off too. Fouled off again. We're going to see the 10th pitch of this first at-bat. Jansen, I'm sure, getting a little more work than he would have wanted today. The pitch. And what does he do? He fouls it off. And that one's going to hit him. So, really exactly what Matt Olson wanted to do there. See a lot of pitches, make Kenley Jansen work harder than he wanted to, and then get on base. I'm sure he's a little sore for it, but, ladies and gentlemen, Lars Nootbaar. Ball outside. 1-1 count. 1-2 count. Sure, Matt Olson in no danger of stealing here. His run doesn't mean anything yet. You know, with all the bad at-bats that the Blue Pelicans have had today, they definitely seem like they're approaching this closer in exactly the correct way. I say that as the Nootbaar strikes out. 2 outs to go. In steps Tommy Edman. He hasn't done anything today, save for a walk in the 5th. Strike down the middle. About as good as a pitch you're going to get from Kenley Jansen there. They're going to say he held up. Ball. 1-1. Double play ball could end it here. So he's going to foul it off into Travis d'Arnaud's nuts. For all the kids watching at home, if the catchers today have taught you anything, kids, wear a cup. It'll help you out later in life, I promise. And Kenley Jansen hits another. He has hit 2 batters this inning, bringing up Brandon Belt. This is a bit uncharacteristic for what we know about Kenley Jansen. And Brandon Belt is going to come up looking to do some damage against the closer. The bright lights of the World Series seeming a bit bright for Jansen right now. course, Kenley Jansen is a World Series champion with the Dodgers in 2020. And there is likely going to be the end of the game. Ladies and gentlemen, this one belongs to the Reds. Sandy Alcantara gets the win here, allowing only a single run. The rest of the pitching staff did very well to keep it there. The Blue Pelicans are going to go home tonight, wondering where the bats were, but the Reds win Game 1 of the World Series. Big performers today. Sandy Alcantara, as we said, only pitching 5.2 innings, but racking up 13 strikeouts in that time. Travis d'Arnaud, really an offensive hero today. That's going to do it for us here at the BBSN Broadcasting Network. Reds win it 7-1. For all of our friends in the BBFL, I'm James Kemp. And by the words of the great Maury Mannies, good night and good sports.
For the victorious Cincinnati Reds, 7 runs on 12 hits, no errors, they left 8 men on base. For the Blue Jays, 1 run, 5 hits, no errors, they left 9 runners on base. Time of the ball game, 2 hours and 58 minutes. Tonight's paid attendance at Rogers Center, 49,282. The Blue Jays thank you for your continued support and remind you to please drive home safely.